doing, Isaac?
I'm playing the flaps of birds.
I thought you wanted to play Putt-Putt Joins the Circus. Oh well. I guess we can play your phone games. Here are the top 8 phone games. Do you like colors? Do you like switching colors? Well, Color Switch is for you. This is a puzzle game in which you're supposed to touch the color that you are in order to advance. The game is somewhat endless, with just having a score count. It sort of reminds me of Flappy Bird or the game of that nature. It's a very casual game, but there's also challenges and races that you can also play. You can also change the shape that you are. Anyways, it's just a casual game, and you should definitely download it if you just want a fun time waster.
Pixel Dungeon is a cheap dungeon RPG thing where you just go around collecting items and going through the dungeon and fighting the enemies. Like most dungeon RPGs, once you die, you lose all of your stuff, and it's not exactly easy to get it back. It gets pretty difficult later on, and even is kind of difficult at the beginning. It's really nice once you get just a bunch of items and stuff that really helps you through the game. You can die really fast in this game. Sometimes it's hard to be able to find any good weapons or items and stuff. It can be pretty hard to navigate through, and the enemies can be a major pain in the butt. It's just your standard dungeon RPG. You go collecting items and weapons. It's pretty hard. You navigate your way through the dungeon. You lose all your stuff when you die. It's pretty normal stuff, but it's fun to waste your time.
Welcome to Loot Hero, the game where you go left and right defeating baddies and killing foes. The story is pretty generic, but the game is pretty fun. Like I said before, you go left and right defeating foes until you reach the boss at the end of the level. While defeating foes, you can even get coins, power-ups, and potions to help your quest. You can actually splurge your money on buying things at the loot shop, where you can actually upgrade your attack, your critical attack, your defense, and your speed. It's a really fun game, even though it might seem a little simple to some people. You should definitely check it out. Created by Noodle Cake and Wobblyware, here comes League of Evil. This is a very difficult game in which you're supposed to avoid spikes, pitfalls, and enemies to punch that nasty scientist's head off. Yes, his head off. Urgh! As you can see, this game is really hard. Look at the many deaths. There's actually a challenge in every level in which you can get 3 stars if you beat the level under the time that it gives you. Like I said, this game is really hard, but once you get to the later levels, it gets a lot tougher. It is definitely worth buying.
Slayin is reminiscent of all those 8-bit classic side-scrolling games that you love. All you gotta do is just jump and stab, go left and right and jump and stab. That's what the game is. You go through levels. They can be very challenging at times, and they can also be very easy at times. but it's just a good game. It's basically limitless levels. There's a shop too. You can buy characters and different items and gravestones. You can buy your own gravestones, I think. It's pretty Gucci. So play this game. It's fun, worth your time, worth your money unless you have it for free on whatevs.
Imagine a game like Bejeweled or Candy Crush Saga, with a little twist of Pokemon. Here, you have puzzles and dragons. This is actually a pretty famous game outside of the United States, but at least we have it too. The only downfall to this game is that you need a Wi-Fi connection or data for it to work. So, it basically doesn't work in long car trips or if you have T-Mobile. Shots fired! The Bejeweled element is actually in the attacking. You match the colors up to attack the many enemies. The Pokemon element is actually in the characters. You can battle and power up your monsters. Like a couple games on this list, it's just a casual game, so it's nothing really fancy. You should still check it out if you like RPGs, and puzzle games, and dragons.
Do you like Rick and Morty? Do you like Pokemon? Rick and Morty Pokemon clone, but easier, and funnier, and fun, and really short. Yeah, basically you just collect a bunch of Mortys from different universes, and you make them beat the crap out of each other. Rick and Morty is a Pokemon clone, but it's a bit more than that. It's really fun, and there are things that are different. Like, you don't just collect Pokemon-type monsters, you collect other Mortys, which is pretty clever. And also, instead of a complicated type system, you just have rock, paper, and scissors, which makes it a lot easier to remember. Even if you like Rick and Morty, you probably won't even care about the story, you just want to get to the fun parts. And it is a fun game. It's basically Pokemon. You go around catching Mortys, you travel, talk to people, buy items, defeat gym leaders. Same thing, but still fun and worth your time.